Hi guys, I'm Brittany Fontana. Thank you for tuning in to the Family First Life Emerald City YouTube page. Today I have with me a very special guest. Not only is she one of our agents, but agency owner of Family First Life Pacific. So let's give her a huge warm welcome and welcome to the page, Echo Faye.
Hi Brittany, how are you?
I'm doing great. Echo, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty fantastic.
That's great to hear. I know we're super excited to have you here. You have had such a big start of the year. You hit the year hard with that annuity at first, and now you have your logo out there, your official Family First Life logo. It's absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites. Tell me a little bit about your logo.
Yeah, thank you. I'm super proud of not just the logo design, but what it means for my team and Family First Life as a whole. I chose the name Pacific because so many generations of people have always flocked to the Pacific Coast to look for a better life. And we welcome, I'm in California, and the subcultures of California have always been super important to me. And that inclusivity and diversity of people that we gather here is really what made me want to incorporate that into my team culture, as well as the overall design for that logo.
No, it's like I said, it's one of my favorites. It's a beautiful logo. Congratulations again. You should be so proud of yourself and that achievement. That's awesome. Congrats on your team. It's going to be a great year for you. I know we can definitely all feel that for you here at Emerald City. So now that we know you are off to a great year, but tell us a little bit about you, Echo. Where did you come from before Family First Life, and how did you end up here in the insurance world?
Oh, thank you. That is a great question. So before I started with Family First Life, I was brewing beer professionally for about 4 years.
There you go.
And that, as cool as that job is, it's very, very hard. I don't recommend it for everybody. And then before that, I spent 15 years as a concert audio engineer doing shows like Coachella and the Vans Warped Tour. So I really didn't have any sales experience or anything like that. And I found FFL kind of by proxy. We had an agent from another IMO sit in front of us, and I was joking with him at the time when I was brewing that if I was smarter, I would have become a bartender. Maximum profit for minimum work. And he clapped back, or you can sell life insurance. And I was like, tell me more. So that really put the bug in my head. And as I was doing research on that IMO and deciding if I wanted to work with them, I found FFL's name in a review on Glassdoor for that other IMO. And so I was like, oh, well, here's another one. Let me check them out. And so I went to the corporate website. I went to the Glassdoor reviews, and they were stellar, way better than the other one. And I went to the corporate website, looked at the YouTube videos with Sean Mike, and it really was Sean himself who sold me on the idea of coming to work with FFL. Our values aligned, making sure that the boots on the ground, the agents on the front lines really get the most of all of their hard work, and making sure that we're always putting the clients first and foremost. So that ethics in what we do is really what drew me in. And so I filled out a form on the corporate website, and a week later, I got a call from Anna, the hiring manager at FFL Northwest. And she put me right into the pre-licensing course, and here I am today.
That's so exciting. So it's crazy to think about that you literally started with zero experience, and now you got a logo, you're doing annuities, you're doing advanced market sales. I mean, that's just an incredible story to hear that really, honestly, anyone can do this. And I know they say that, and it's true. I mean, we're witnessing it every day. So it's incredible. And yes, I think we can all agree Sean Mike's energy definitely makes you want to join FFL for sure. He's always excited, and that definitely has an effect on the morale here. So Echo, with zero experience and really diving into FFL the way you have, honestly, how did you really get to the success you have? I mean, hitting the year with an annuity, I mean, is amazing. You're already hitting, personal goals that you wanted to hit, and now you have this logo. How did you find yourself getting into that success? How did you find yourself getting into the advanced market sales and really utilizing your license fully?
So I poured in, especially as a brand new agent, into all of the training that we have available to us. It was the only thing I allowed myself to listen to when I was doing pre-licensing and doing an hour and a half commute each way to where I was working at the time. Oh, wow. I listened to FFL podcast trainings all day, every day. And then even when I got out in the field, it was the only thing on my run days I would allow myself to listen to in the car, Windshield University. And so everything that I was learning and was starting to make sense as I was out there in the field, I tried to implement the best way I could. And I always reached out to my mentors when I felt like I wasn't having success, so that they could give me coaching so that I could make changes, so that I could still have the success that I'm finding now. Yeah. And for better or for worse.
So would you say it's safe to say you definitely would have to stay plugged in and be willing to be vulnerable and coachable in your first 90 days, 100 visits?
The first year, in fact, to be humble and be receptive to coaching, whether it makes you feel a little hurt by the words that you're receiving, because it's always said in love, because we want to see you improve as a new agent, and not see you fail out and quit, because this is such an amazing opportunity. Yeah, absolutely. So if it wasn't for the training that I plugged into and made sure that I was always plugged into, I would not have found the kind of success that I'm finding now, and the continued success that I'm pushing for in the future.
Yeah, no, and it's so true. I've only been here, a short amount of time. I started last year in the summer, but I've noticed the more agents that are plugged in and there's efforts there and being coachable. I mean, I'm seeing them leading producer, awards, Hall of Fame. I mean, you name it, we're having agents do it. So it does speak volumes when you are plugged in 100%, when you are coachable and willing to take the criticism from leaders. You have to you got to have that thick skin. I learned that myself already in the short amount of time I've been here. So I definitely have to agree with that.
It's not personal. No. It's that kind of feedback is never personal. It's absolutely meant in a constructive way.
Yes, 100%. So I know we've talked about advanced market a little bit because, again, you really hit the end of the year with annuities. You're hitting it hard with the beginning of this year. How did you find yourself going down that avenue? What made you interested in learning more about the AMS side of this company?
It kind of comes back to the training that I received, and we all receive at the very start, where we work all 4 quadrants, and you have to make sure that you're asking all of the right questions in the home and making sure that you're asking the golden question. What do you have that acts like life insurance? IRAs, 401ks, TSPs, in every home, and not prejudging your client, thinking that, it's a double wide trailer in the middle of the countryside and they're not going to have any money. Well, you let your client tell you that they don't have the money and they're not concerned with protecting it. So really, if it wasn't for making sure that I was asking that golden question in every home, I wouldn't have even found my first annuities within 5 months.
I was going to say,
5 months.
we're going in quickly with them, and it's just kind of been a continuing pattern. And like I said, and we know there's only about 7%, I believe they said at the FFL convention, that really does anything with AMS. So we're a huge company, and to hear, that, I mean, we definitely have to really utilize, the licensing that the agents have. There's just so many more doors that can be open, and that's just allowing us to protect more families and assets and things that matter to people. And that's our job at the end of the day. So that's incredible. Congratulations on really hitting hard with AMS. I think you're going to be the queen of it at this point. Honestly, I'm like a newbie. Echo.
I can certainly try.
Hey, there you go. So Echo, we all know your presence here at Family First Life. You are an extreme resource for all agents. I mean, I don't think there's a communication app that I don't see you answering a question on there or guiding, an agent in the right direction with their clients, because you do really have an extensive amount of underwriting knowledge. Not only do you answer those questions, but you create wonderful training material that I've even used myself in a hiring aspect. How, as a new agent, do you not overwhelm yourself with trying to know all those things on top of staying organized, on top of staying structured? What advice would you give new agents that are overwhelming themselves, overthinking it because they're trying to learn anything and everything about all this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for that. When I first started with FFL, I got contracted really quickly, and I only had 3 carriers, Americo, Mutual of Omaha, and AIG. And the training that I heard and I took to heart while I was in pre-licensing was just go out and just start making phone calls, booking appointments. And you'll figure it out as you go, because you have your mentors, and you have, now you have me to ask for underwriting help. So you don't need to know the products because you have me. Just go out and book appointments and go and see people that have asked for our help. Because if you don't go set up those appointments and make phone calls, all the underwriting product knowledge in the world is not going to mean diddly. Because you have nobody to use that with. So that's my biggest, just do it. One foot in front of the other and just move forward, and the rest of it will fall into place just by doing.
I love that. And I think that is so true. I think it's easy for someone, and I get it, because I'm definitely someone who overthinks everything and is such a perfectionist. Like, I have to know everything about my job in order to do this right. And definitely this industry has totally flipped that around, and you do have to be uncomfortable in order to be successful. And I think that's definitely a common message that is shared here, is you gotta not be scared. You have to be uncomfortable in order for success. And not knowing everything about your job at first, comes with practice. So it's really practice makes perfect. And having Echo answer everything you need to know on Telegram and Slack is a good go-to. And really, again, your training material is just phenomenal. I mean, your underwriting guidelines and cheat sheets are just, like I said, I learned so much, and I'm not even an active agent right now. So it's just like, I'm learning
Thank you.
from you. So thank you for having that presence and taking the time to not be selfish and hiding your knowledge. Again,
right. It's absolutely not making sure that we're not seeking perfection at the expense of good.
Yes.
Right. And I think practice makes the master, because I don't think perfect is actually something that we can achieve.
Yeah, no,
but
it's not.
It's
unrealistic, right? So do the best.
Right.
You can.
Absolutely. So don't let the seeking perfection be the enemy of good.
Awesome.
And good, or just good enough. Just good enough.
Seriously, honestly, I mean, you don't have to be perfect to be successful at this job. Again, like I said, there's all types of people here. We're all really, at the end of the day, just trying to help others and put them in the best situation for their families, when that time comes. So I think, you're a fantastic role model and leader to have here. Excited to have you on our team and to continue to watch you grow with Family First Life Pacific. Congratulations again. And honestly, thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us today, Echo. We really appreciate you. And
appreciate you too. Thank you for having me on. I'm always excited to give back.
Of course, we appreciate you. And everyone, please don't forget to subscribe to our social media handles. You'll find them down below. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.